Greetings, every YouTube pony, and welcome to the story I'm about to read, called My Little Stalker, Part 1. There's only going to be 2 parts, unless the story does well, and then I might add more. And let's see how it goes. It's a Twilight Flash Century story, and in this one, I think Flash overdoes it with following her around. So this is going to be pretty funny. Twilight's walking through the meadow, minding her own business, waiting for her friend RD to show up to make everything 10 times more funner, as she is always notorious for. Her and Pinkie Pie both together can really make a party. That's one thing that Twilight always understood, down to the bottom of her heart. And she wasn't quite sure how Pinkie made it possible, but she didn't really question it either. Pinkie was just being Pinkie, and Rainbow Dash has always been herself too. There are no other mares like them. They are really good friends, she thought. Just then she spots someone spying on her through the bushes. And then her pursuer quickly ducks back down to hide before she catches a full glimpse of him. Just then she started getting real suspicious about it. Twilight's always the one to question everything that goes on, because she is quite the bookworm. Yeah, that she is. Everyone knows that. Even her mentor, Princess Celestia. But she just shrugged and walked off. But soon after that, she realized a sound behind the trees, indicating her pursuer is still following her. So she decided to pick up pace to see if she can try to lose them. Then her slow trot turned into an awkward run, as her pursuer was clearly running after her, still too afraid to make himself seen. Which who's to say I can blame him? When you're stalking a princess, it does kind of have its fucking downsides. And I gotta learn to say the fucking word. And not try to blank myself out. Now let's get back to it. Now where was I again? Damn it, done lost my place. Oh, there it is. She stops in her tracks, realizing she can't lose him that way. So she decides to go find out who the hell is doing this to her. She looked through the trees, but all she seen was a little Pegasus stallion. Flash Sentry was his name. Realizing Flash was the one following her, she didn't mind. She just shrugged it off and kept walking, realizing it's nothing that can really bother her or hurt her in any way. But after her day of fun with Rainbow Dash and Pinkie, she started to get a little worried about him following her, considering he still hasn't stopped, as she begins to follow her home. But as she slept that very night, she realized he was right outside her window. Awkward. Are you talking about an awkward stalker? I learn when to quit. Learn when you're overdoing it. But you think Flash really cared? No. He wanted her, and she could clearly see that. He wanted to be acknowledged. For some reason, it's like he wanted her to notice him. She did, but what she did was kind of an awkward predicament for it. She closed the curtains, not even trying to pay him any mind, because he was beginning to creep her out. Yeah, you don't want to follow a mare around too much, because that will happen. And yeah, they will not be too happy about it either. So who gives a damn? Let's just go on with the story. The next morning, she woke up, opened her window, and got the scare of a lifetime because she was right out there waiting for her. He greeted her with a good morning, Twilight, and Twilight just smiled an awkward grin and just waved at him and walked back downstairs to the kitchen, got herself something to eat, and went about her day, realizing he was still following her as she walked outside. She tried to hide from him in the caves, but he was there as well. Somehow he always knew where she was going to be. It's like he was tracking her, like some kind of predator waiting to pounce and make his move. But what was he going to do when he finally decided to make said move, she thought. She thought it over for a quick second and just shrugged it off because she just didn't want to even comprehend on thinking it even more. So she just went about it, acting like he wasn't even there, or at least trying to until it got awkward again. Realizing he was still chasing her, she tried to hide in Cloudsdale. Dumb idea. Pegasi live in Cloudsdale. As he was there following her too. Only closer this time. Close enough to where he can probably reach out and touch her if he wanted to. Or if he so desired. But he didn't. He didn't even make a move. What was he planning? She thought. And then she thought again. And then shrugged it off. I think she lets it go way too many times. I say to myself. Because, yeah. When I first thought of this story, I thought she shrugged it off way too many times. And realizing he wasn't going to leave. She's got her own secret admirer that likes to follow her around. And it kind of makes it awkward. Because even at the Summer Sun celebration, when she was helping with Celestia's to-do list, he was still following her. Only this time, Twilight swore he tried to grab her flank. But really, it was just a tree. It was really just a tree branch. And then she searched around her legs and realized he was rubbing one of them. It was the back left. She didn't really kind of comforted her, in a way. But her brother wasn't too happy about it. Shining was always envious of his sister and would always try to keep the others away from her. Yeah, the job of the older brother. Keep his sister in line and make sure who she's dating don't screw her over. That's exactly how it plays out. Because he's ran him off with a baseball bat more times than I can count. And Twilight's even seen that. I mean, her house is the only place that Flash won't follow her. So if she really wanted him to leave her alone, all she had to do is go home. It's that simple, she thought. And yeah, she knew that all too well, that Shining would tear his ass a new one. But she didn't want to see Flash tore up or let down. She was more than okay with being in his presence, despite the fact that Flash was always hiding from her. making every situation she gets into awkward. Yeah, that would make fun time with your friends awkward. A secret admirer following you around in secrecy, stalking you, waiting for his time to pounce. That'd freak me out, I know it would. And I know half of you would be freaked out over it too, if you had your own secret stalker. They always like to stay hidden. Between you and me, I'd believe it'd be hilarious and cute. But Twilight, she had her own concept of it. She thought it was kind of adorable, but Shining, he thought differently. He thought it was messed up that Flash wouldn't quit following her around, and he should quit. He's even threatened to beat his ass several times. Yep, brother thing. Go back to that again. So, this has been Chapter 1 of My Little Stalker. Thank you. Until next time, this is the Nova narrator. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below, because it gives me the motivation to keep going. You don't know how good y'all guys have been to me. You're the reason I'm still able to pull through it. Just remember that. Peace out.